Hi, I'm Trooper Smacka.
Hi, I'm Trooper Wellman,
Please stay tuned for a behind-the-scenes look at being a state trooper.
and together we can make a difference.
Here we are live at the 360.Vegas studios. We have Christina from Nevada Donor Network and, of course, Trooper Wellman with Trooper Talk. So tell us about you, your title, and everything like that.
Sure. So my name is Christina Hernandez, and I'm with the Nevada Donor Network. I am our communications and engagement liaison. So my role at Nevada Donor Network is to share just how much hope organ, eye, and tissue donation can bring to our community. And as you spoke to, we were recently able to share a donor registration drive with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol on National Donor Day, which is also Valentine's Day. So it was a beautiful morning to just kind of share, in honor of Trooper May, what saying yes to organ, eye, and tissue donation truly means. So I'm very honored to be here and reach your audience and just share more about how they can also give back through donation as well.
And so we know, Trooper Wellman, that one of the things that is very emotional is the fact of, Trooper May and, unfortunately what he had to go through and, and all that type of stuff. And so we're very happy to have her here. Tell us about what happened on the Valentine's Day.
Yeah, losing Trooper May was devastating, not only as a friend, but to our agency and to our entire state. He was a hero, serving his community every day for 12 plus years, and it was really special to be a part of the event on Valentine's Day with the Nevada Donor Network, and to see him not only be a hero like during life, but after. So it was truly amazing, and I think the only word I can think of is bittersweet.
Yeah, and so we appreciate you being here. And so tell us a little bit about the organization and what you do and how someone can get involved if they'd like to.
Nevada Donor Network is the federally designated OPO, or Organ Procurement Organization, for almost the entire state of Nevada. So we are the only Nevada-based OPO. We're proud to serve Nevadans when that time comes. So when someone says yes to becoming an organ, eye, and tissue donor, most people know here in Nevada, at the Nevada DMV office, you check yes to the organ donation question. Our team is the one that is responsible for recovering those organs and those tissues for a healing transplant through a bone graft or through a tissue graft. Also, if someone is in desperate need of that organ donation to save their lives. Right now in the United States, there's over 100,000 Americans that are currently waiting for their second chance through organ donation. Almost 600 of them are Nevadans. So when you say yes, it's not just checking yes on a box and receiving a heart on your license. It truly does make an impact when that time comes, and when we're able to share such a personal and close to home story like Trooper May's. By him saying yes, he was able to save the lives of 3 others through 4 of his organs. And it is that ripple effect and that legacy that you can leave behind simply by doing that. So Nevada Donor Network is honored to be entrusted with those gifts and to serve the courageous family of this heroic donor, Trooper May, but also the many others that we serve as well. So essentially, that's what we do. Just to kind of share with you some of the interesting facts behind it. When you say yes, you have the opportunity to save the lives of 8 others through organ donation and heal and enhance the lives of 75 or more. So again, that one question truly does have the opportunity to save someone else and really make an impact on someone else's life.
I told Trooper Wellman, I said, since the time I was 16 years old, I always did the organ donation. And so I never really knew what it was. And, like you just did it and you knew you were going to help somebody or whatever. And then through the tragedy of Trooper May, you learn more and more. And, you're happy that you do it. You don't want your body to be cut up at the end. But, if you can help save somebody, you know what I mean? And so, I heard something before we went on the air, and I was very excited. And so one of the things that Trooper Talk is really good for is the fact of that we like to know things that people can't see about the troopers, okay? So when the tragedy happened with Trooper May, I asked Trooper Wellman and Trooper Smacka before he came sergeant, what were you thinking? You know, like as you're driving, you know what I mean? So you've known Trooper Wellman for a long time.
I have. And Trooper Wellman and I went to high school together. We
Right.
graduated a while ago. You all can guess when we graduated. But it's really amazing to see a full circle moment in
Yeah.
my life, to be able to work with someone that I knew at such a young age.
Yeah.
And who knew our paths would bring us here.
Yeah.
But another story I'd love to share with
Yeah, I
you
wanna hear.
is
I wanna hear.
that my grandfather, at the age of only 51, was listed for heart transplant. And I was only about 5 years old when it happened. And so when you talk about donation, just, oh, I made the decision, it happened. Well, donation has always been a part of my life. Unfortunately, he passed away while he was waiting, but he believes so much in donation that he still said yes to being a donor upon his passing, and he was able to give the gift of sight to 2 others through his corneas after he passed through Nevada Donor Network way back in the 90s. So it was pretty incredible that now, once I found this position, I've been with Nevada Donor Network for almost 5 years, that I was able to honor his wishes, but also speak to his legacy too, because on average, about 20 people pass away every single day waiting for that gift to come, for that second chance. And when you said that comment, you know, I checked yes. I wasn't really sure what I was checking yes to, but it was in my heart and I wanted to do the right thing. That's what I believe is the most simple conversation when it comes to organ, eye, and tissue donation, is just that wanting to help someone else is black and white, right? Like, if I'm not able to use my organs and tissues anymore because I pass away, why wouldn't I want to help give someone more time with their loved ones and be able to give them, you know, that extra time to do all the things they've wanted to do in life that they haven't been able to. So that's really how I view it, and saying yes to that decision.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we love about hanging out with Trooper Wellman, is that we get to see these selfless acts that the troopers go through every single day, that they put their lives on the line. They go out there from morning until night, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, stopping people, you know, that are going crazy speeds. You know, I was hanging out with Sergeant Whitmarsh the other day, you know, you know, and just, you know, telling me about these people that are, you know, driving at obnoxious speeds at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, and so
To take what Christina was saying just a little bit further,
Yeah.
you know, through this process, you know, we see a lot of tragedy in our line of work, and like she said, a full circle. It's really neat to see these families come together and almost comfort each other through their grief. And again, it's bittersweet, but I've been a part of this process now for at least 6 months, and I've gone to these seminars and these events, and it's truly just like life-changing. And so you were saying, you know, you just checked the box. I was kind of in the same boat. Like, I knew I would possibly save a life, you know, after death, but I didn't really understand it until I've met these families and these recipients, and it's life-changing. And you know, one of the things that I got educated on throughout this process is, even from my own family members, when they've been seeing the interviews and stuff, they're just like, well, how do I know that, you know, they're going to save my life if I'm, you know, in the hospital and they see that I'm an organ donor? And so Christina helped explain this to me, and it made so much sense when she said it, was every first responder, we all went into this line of work to save lives, not to take lives. And so absolutely, I'm going to do every effort when I roll up to these crash scenes or a major incident. I'm going to make every effort to preserve life, right? So the same goes for doctors and nurses and firefighters. And so anybody that has that hesitation with checking the box to be an organ donor because of their reserve, because they think that maybe first responders are not going to put extra effort into saving their life, it makes complete sense now to me that, like, no, we all did take an oath because we want to help save lives.
yeah, of course.
You know?
You know, it comes down to the goodness, again, that we always try to portray on Trooper Talk, which is that, you know, we love the troopers. We love all the first responders. We want to do everything we can, you know, that our goal and our mission is to save lives, you know, to make sure that when somebody rolls up to whatever type of scene, you know, we're trying to make sure. And so it's a great synergy between the both, because unfortunately people do pass.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what you do is not for everyone, for whatever reasons.
Right.
But, you know, there is sometimes maybe eye-opening, you know, to engage in a conversation.
Yes.
And so if we can engage in a conversation, then at least, you know, that's part of our mission, and that's a wonderful thing.
The more we've been talking about this throughout this whole process with the May family and stuff, I've been informed that 3 other troopers within just a small, you know, our NHP family, they're either their loved ones have been recipients of organ donation or their loved ones were a donor, and we're all connected. We had the event on Valentine's Day, and I invited a bunch of my peers from all the other Southern Nevada agencies, and we found out a sergeant from Boulder City who, her story is very, very, I've known her story for years, and I never knew that her little daughter actually was a donor, and we ended up talking about it in the parking lot, and it almost brings you to tears every time you talk about the situation. But you just never know who's a donor and who's a recipient, and how we're all connected. It's truly amazing.
Yeah, and I think I don't remember, but like there was the constable that was like maybe a month or so that was murdered, or, you know, but anyway, he did the organ donation, and so, you know, it's really good, and we want to bring it to light as much as possible, because you never know who it affects or who we can help, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you touched on something that I really love, and I always like to share, is that it's all about human kindness, right? And being there and being a good person and wanting to give back as your ultimate gift and the last way that you leave that legacy behind. And I would say what Trooper Wellman brought up with, you know, one of the biggest myths and misconceptions is being that they won't save your life. The other one is just not even a myth or misconception, but just the conversation. It's hard to talk about death and dying and passing away. It's not an if, it's a when for all of us. We all at some point are going to pass away, and I think knowing what your loved one would want, or me sharing that with my loved ones, it gives them a peace, and it not only gives them a peace, but it allows them the time to grieve and move through their grief and be in that moment, versus I need to kind of understand what would they have wanted. Is this something they would have wanted? You know, I didn't know that they were registered. I never talked to them about it. So the most important thing that I share is have the conversations while you still can. They're not easy. They may be difficult. It might be something you've never spoken about, but it's incredibly important, because one day we all will be faced with that conversation. And that knowing does bring a sense of peace, and it allows you to focus on your grief and spending those last moments with your loved one.
Good point.
Yeah. I agree 100%. So thank you very much for being here.
You're
and
welcome.
Trooper Wellman, thank you very much for bringing her.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's very important that we keep bringing this to light. So now is the time that we go through clips and things like that. And so Johnny puts all these things together.
Oh, that's great.
And so the important thing is that nobody sees this except for Johnny.
Okay.
So we're all surprised what we see. Okay? And you never know what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things work, sometimes don't.
Yeah.
So the Nevada Donor Network, right? Hashtag Donate Life, right? And so this is a video we got. So let's take a look.
February 14th is not just Valentine's Day. It's National Donor Day. Donor Day is all about love, like the heroes who save lives through organ, eye, and tissue donation. Here today, I have fallen Trooper Micah May's family, and this is his wife, Joanna.
My husband, Trooper Micah May, gave the ultimate gift by donating his organs to 3 recipients. Love to my family is a selfless act of kindness, such as giving somebody a second chance through organ donation.
Love is happiness.
Love means giving back to your community.
Love is the little things in life.
Love means knowing that no matter what, you have someone to count on.
Love is protecting the ones you love more than yourself.
Love means being there for the community when they need you the most.
I love this part. It's so cute.
Guess I didn't like that, Bob.
So, you know, I mean, this in light shows how wonderful of the things that, you know, that Trooper Wellman puts together, right? With you and getting all these people together. You know what I mean? And we've had the honor to be able to hang out with Trooper Wellman at the car show and different things, and seeing since Trooper May has passed how involved she is. And so that's cool that you've known her for this long, right? And so, like, you know, there's a sense of appreciation. Tell us about it.
Oh, totally. I think there is. I love it.
No,
It's fun to be able to, I think.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Do you want to start again? Because you started laughing.
No, just go.
I mean, without
So,
going
but-
into specifics, but I'm saying, like, you know, you always aspire that your friends do something or do well in life. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, right?
Absolutely.
And so to be at any career for an extended period of time, right? And so that's something that you see that we want to know about on Trooper Talk. It's not about specifics or, you know what I mean? It's about knowing the appreciation that we have and being able to have someone else share that too.
Well, I think for me, I really enjoy the fact that we're able to share our personal connection, because I do believe there's a synergy and there's a comfort. I think I'm able to see a new side of Trooper Wellman. Probably one of the special moments that I enjoyed was how she has come alongside Trooper May's wife's side and has been there, attended our donor remembrance ceremony, which is a ceremony we host every year to honor our heroic donors, and just really has become like an extended branch of our family at Nevada Donor Network. And I think her and I being able to see how we've kind of grown up and have come to where we are now, in both our professional and personal lives. I think there's something special to be said about how that does transfer into the way that we can communicate with each other, we can work together. And what makes this partnership so powerful is because I consider her a member of my family. Even my family at Nevada Donor Network, we call each other co-family, because when you're involved in the type of careers that we are, you know, she's putting her life on the line every single day, and I'm working alongside people in the most, you know, in some ways traumatic parts of their life, very life-changing moments in their lives. And I think there's just something in a way that you come together and you become bigger than you are, and you grow so much.
Yeah.
And so tell us, right? So that's cool that you get to hang out with your friend,
Yeah,
right?
like we've always had a partnership with Nevada Donor Network, and through our command and the changing of people in the public information office, like it's so neat though that I actually know somebody there, and even her counterpart, this other girl named Jenna, we went to high school with her too, and so we all just like have like found ourselves back from when we were younger, and it's I truly believe in this mission with them, and I know I'm my own entity, but I feel like we are a team. And it was really cool to like meet Christina for the first time in years. Like we went and we sat down for a meeting to go over the event that we were going to be hosting in honor of Trooper May, and I felt like, oh, we're adults, like we're, you know, doing business talk now. Like it was really weird. And then to actually see the event take place and to see her talking to the media and stuff, and it, like, I'm
like,
proud
this
of
is
you.
your
Like
friend,
it was
right?
super cool. Yeah, like
right.
she was so well spoken, and it was really cool. And I believe in this mission, and I love what we're doing together as a team and as one, and it's awesome.
It is. And as you can tell, we truly care about what we do.
Yeah, no.
And I think that really translates into the way that we're able to work together. It makes a huge difference, because there's so many ways that this cause can be very sad, right? Like it can bring a lot of emotions on, anger, sadness, anxiousness, just makes it very difficult. But I think when you can turn it into really seeing what the end is, what the legacy is, how it can bring hope and strength and life to other people, it transforms the journey, and it allows us to have this sort of new perspective on the way that we approach our careers. And I do agree, there is just an undeniable, like, we were able to sit down at this breakfast and pull this event together in a week's time and come up with it and just kind of throw some ideas out there. And I know this is only the beginning, and why I love so much partnering with the Nevada State Police Highway Patrol is that we were the first also in the nation to do something like this and have this sort of partnership. And it's because they want to, not because they have to or someone is telling them. It's because they truly, from dispatch all the way up to, you know, Trooper Wellman being the PIO and even further up the leadership chain, they're just very supportive and want to create a donation positive culture within the law enforcement community in the state of Nevada, which is not common across the United States. It's something that is growing. So I'm proud to say that we're the leaders of that, and we were the first to ever do that of its kind.
I literally invited every Southern Nevada agency to come on out. We had Boulder City, we had Henderson, we had Las Vegas Metro, we had North Las Vegas, we had school police, and then obviously us because we hosted it. But to bring all of us together and introduce them to the Nevada Donor Network, everyone was so excited. They exchanged contacts and they want to be a part of it. And they saw the vision and they saw what we're doing and making a difference and saving lives, and it through donation, and it was so exciting. And I didn't even say the obvious, but you know, with the state of Nevada, we are the Nevada State Police. We are the entire state. So this not only was here in Las Vegas, but we did it also. We hosted the event in Reno. So our counterparts in Reno also hosted an event with all of their first responders up there, also in honor of Trooper May, and raised awareness to organ donation. And so it was just amazing to see our entire state come together, not just like our little city. So it was neat.
No, it's great and it's fantastic, and I love it. And you know, the thing is that I believe so strongly that people can feel through the television. Most people just don't open themselves up. And so one of the things that we do on the Trooper Talk, we always get Trooper Wellman, you know, sometimes on the emotional end. Not so much on the smiling so long, which is great.
They always make me cry.
But people can feel that. And so it's so important, because what we do on Trooper Talk is we like to provide that insight to things that they're never going to get a chance to see. So it's great and it's fantastic. You know what I mean? All right, we'll go to the next one. You ready? All right. So I texted Trooper Wellman when I saw this. Besides Trooper Wellman, I have a lot of friends and things like this that are on Nevada Highway Patrol, and you know, just complete devastation. You know, we talk about on the roadways, you know, the impaired driving, the wrong way driving, the road rage, you know, all the different things which, you know, somehow could get to your end. You know what I mean? If something happens or whatever, you know what I mean? And so what we try to do is we try to prepare that no one gets to where you are.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, you know, the trooper, well, you tell the story.
Yeah, so it was our graveyard shift. The trooper had just conducted a traffic stop. If I remember correctly, it was 95 in Charleston. And as you can tell, he's pulled over in the shoulder. He's got his emergency lights activated, doing everything he's been taught to do to prevent something like this from happening. We have the move over law in place here in the state of Nevada. So what that means is if you can safely move over or travel lane, you need to do so. If you can't move over because maybe traffic, you need to decrease your speed. So with this one, the trooper had just returned to his patrol vehicle after educating the motoring public on traffic safety, and he hadn't even had time to put his seatbelt on yet when a driver that was suspected of impairment did rear-end him. Luckily, our trooper is okay. He did get banged up quite a bit, but he's okay. And that driver of the other vehicle was arrested under suspicion of driving impaired.
And so, you know, he's sitting, the trooper is sitting there, right? You know, taking care of business again, you know, with these cars driving past at 65, right? And we've already found that, you know, we there was 140 miles an hour, you know, on the thing we did last week. 140 miles an hour.
Yeah, our radar.
Right?
Yeah.
And so the thing that got to me that really pushed me over the edge, and I had a meeting yesterday with Channel 13, and I specifically talked about this, is that the trooper did not have enough time to put the seatbelt on and could have lost the life of the trooper because he went through the windshield.
Right. All preventable, right?
All preventable.
All preventable, and that's
I mean,
the
this,
reality
you
of
know
it.
what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can't get better picture than this. I mean, like he's.
It's frustrating.
It is.
It's frustrating.
And so I will tell you that there are certain things like, that we talk about how many times that the troopers see tragedy in comparison to the normal person, which I'm sure you're probably in the same aspect as or near with the troopers of how much tragedy they see in their life, right? But this just pushed me right over the edge because,
we always talk about, like the butterfly effect or Final Destination, how if one little thing was different. And this one, same thing, it was a side swipe, but if that car would have came over just a little more, the impact on the trunk possibly could have pushed him through the windshield, like you're saying. Like, just so many different, you could play the what if game all day,
Right.
but
So-
luckily we're grateful that he is okay and he, has another day to protect this great city, so.
So this comes back to what I said earlier, which is that we love our first responders. We love our troopers. I'm getting the chills because it's the truth, And so that's part of the seeing and the feeling that from the television that the people that they can see and they know when they're watching because they know it's the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That we cannot allow this to happen. We want to help you in every way we can, but we don't want someone
want
tragically,
this.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
it was very important for Trooper Wellman to bring you today
Yeah.
so that we could talk about this and open this conversation. We appreciate you coming today and hanging out with us on the Trooper Talk. You know what I mean?
wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.